Huge market rally here. Dow up 1,141 points. The sequel to Black Panther so far is #1 in all markets in the world, ahead of the U.S. opening in 4,200 theaters tonight. Both Disney and AMC theater shares are moving higher. Disney's up 3%. Big gain for AMC, 18% higher. AMC's New York City screening just started 16 minutes ago in Lincoln Square. Now, the shares are spiking as we speak because sneak peek screenings are hitting the screens, as we say, this afternoon. Tonight, they'll go all in. Let's bring in AMC CEO Adam Aron and get some expectations here. Not only, Adam, for the Black Panther sequel, but for the holiday movie-going season. But how are AMC's ticket sales trending for Black Panther?
Well, first, Liz, always nice to be with you. And
thanks.
Like, apparently, with our stock moving 18% today, you're a good luck charm. So I think if you can guarantee me an 18% rise in AMC stock, I'd have come back on the Claman Countdown tomorrow and Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday. Why not? As for movies, I'm going to take you back in time about a year when Spider-Man No Way Home was a monster hit.
Yeah.
And then Memorial Day weekend when Top Gun Maverick came out and has grossed more than $1.6 billion around the world. But movie going in the last couple of months was light. The titles that were released were few and far between in August and September. But here we are. The Christmas movie season has begun. The sequel to Black Panther Wakanda Forever. I think it's going to be the second biggest movie of the year, second only to Top Gun Maverick. Our advanced bookings for Black Panther Wakanda Forever are like frothy. They are robust. This is going to be a monstrous hit. People who've seen the movie are telling us that it's extremely well done. We think its word of mouth is going to be spectacular. Our hats off to Disney, but this is just the beginning of a very strong 6-week holiday run. Remember, Avatar 2, Avatar: The Way of Water, is coming out in mid-December.
Right.
Damien Chazelle's Babylon is coming out. Disney's Strange World is coming out. There are a lot of movies that people are going to see in big numbers at our theaters between now and New Year's Day.
When you talk about the paucity of movie titles coming out there to generate more ticket sales, I would agree. I mean, Don't Worry, Darling, Where the Crawdads Sing, Black Adam. I mean, they've left people wanting more. What is going on with the film companies that's supposed to churn this stuff out?
So a buddy of mine once said to me, like, hey, you don't make the movies, you just show the movies.
Right.
So it's true. Like, we are in partnership with all the major Hollywood studios. They're the ones who make the product that we so lovingly show in our theaters. And what we've seen in the last few months is really COVID at play. It takes a good long 2 years plus
to make a
major motion picture.
Yeah.
And all those production delays in 2020 and 2021 because of COVID have slowed down the releases of theatrical titles now. But I speak to studio chieftains like every month of my life, and I can tell you that they're scrambling to get more movie titles out, released in theaters. They certainly saw that in Top Gun Maverick that they can make a lot of money when they release movies in our theaters. And what we're hearing is that while the movie count in 2022 so far has been down 20 to 30%, as we look ahead to 2023, the number of movies that are going to be released theatrical is going way up, and that'll also be true in 2024.
Okay.
So having more good movies to show is obviously something that's beneficial for AMC.
Well, it's the fuel that goes into theaters' engines. You just reported quarterly numbers. Revenue came in at $968 million, I believe. Definitely an improvement from $763 million a year ago. You did report a wider than expected loss on the bottom line. I believe the 12th consecutive quarterly loss. But would you venture to say that AMC's profitability can't return until movie studios increase their movie slates?
Well, actually, what you just said is right, because if you look at a company like AMC, we're the largest movie theater chain in an industry that was sized with a box office of $11 billion pre-pandemic. in the U.S. and Canada. That's the basic unit of measurement, that domestic box office. A global box office of $43 billion. That's what we were sized for. And the box office in 2020 was $2 billion. And it was $4.5 billion in 2021. And it's going to be up 75% this year. And we think it's going to be up another 15 to 25% or more next year. But it's still not back to pre-pandemic levels.
Right.
And so, yes, we do need more movie titles. But, and this is an important but when you look at that trajectory, $2 billion to $4.5 billion to between $7.5 and to $8 billion this year, maybe over $9 billion next year, like we are on a path upwards. We are on a path for recovery.
Well, that shows with the revenue. You're monetizing your theaters with a plan to turn them into Zoom rooms. What kind of demand for that and bottom line impact do you anticipate?
Well, here's the interesting thing about our joint effort with Zoom, and we're so pleased to be working with Zoom. Like, we've run our whole company for the last 2.5 years on Zoom. Whoever would have thought that in 2018 or 19 that we would be in a video conferencing world? You never would have had me on air like this. I would have had to go to a studio or come to New York.
So you don't have to schlep now.
And we don't have, no. And so, but what's really interesting is AMC does $20 million a year of meetings business right now, but we're limited in the sense that our meetings can only take place within 4 walls, within one theater, because we have no capability to transmit from theater to theater across the country.
Okay.
Well, Zoom Rooms at AMC is going to change all that.
All right.
We're going to outfit 17 of our theaters in 17 major U.S. cities with the most sophisticated Zoom technology. So not only will you be able to have 50 or 100 people in an auditorium in our theater, but you'll be able to interact with a similar number of people in theater after theater after theater and city after city after city. And as I said, we've got $20 million worth of meetings business already. We think this is a real opportunity for us.
I like it. It reminds me of Peter Guber, who back in the day bought a lot of farm team arenas and baseball stadiums. We're not talking about the big ones. He's talking about farm teams, and then he turned them, when they weren't being used for games, into concert venues. So there's your revenue. I do want to ask you, because as we look at the stock, it is down about 63% year to date. Back in June of 2021, AMC was, what, a $60 stock. The retail investors were all in. By November and December, company insiders, including yourself, and we've talked about this, were selling shares anywhere from $27 to $40. You did telegraph that would happen on earnings calls, but some triangulate that insiders didn't believe the company was worth such a high valuation. That's why they were selling. Can you just clarify that?
No, Liz, I can't, because that's 2021 news. That's ancient history. What we're doing is we're focusing on bringing this company back, getting it through the pandemic. We have navigated AMC through the most difficult challenges that a company management team has probably ever been confronted with before. That stock that you talk about that was $60 a share in June of 2021, it was $1.91 a share in January of 2021.
We see that,
And we have been fully transparent with the public, with the public as to what the opportunities are at AMC and what the risks are at AMC. And our focus is on running the business. Do remember this. I am AMC's largest individual shareholder today, if you take out the institutional investors. I have not sold a share in the last 10 months. In August, I had something like $50 million of AMC stock. I am very much committed to running this company. It's a 24/7 passion, and the obsession that some at Fox Business News have about our stock sales in 2021 seems to be misplaced. What we ought to be talking about is what are we going to be doing to save this company, to give it a proud second century of operation, as proud and successful as it was in the first century of operation.
Adam, thank you. I wanted to give you an opportunity to address that.